PocketFlow is a minimalist framework for agentic applications, plus, you can also use it for building intelligent workflows. It is designed to be extremely lightweight, just around 100 lines of Python code with no external dependencies or vendor lock-in. In this video, we are going to install it locally. I will also explain its core concepts, plus we are going to check it out in a hands-on demo. This is Fahad Mirza and I welcome you to the channel. Please like the video and subscribe, and also consider joining the membership of the channel, as that helps a lot in supporting the ongoing production of videos. So what exactly is this PocketFlow? At its core, PocketFlow introduces a simple abstraction. Developers define modular units called nodes, which encapsulate logic or tasks and connect them using flows, which determine how data and control move between nodes. This simplicity allows developers to build expressive, maintainable, and scalable systems that uses LLMs for tasks like conversation, decision making, and automation. To be very honest, just seems like yet another intelligent framework for agentic applications. The only difference is that they are trying to make it as lightweight as possible. There is a lot of theory on their documentation which you can go through. I will be also touching upon its flow and architecture later in the video, but for now let's get it installed. So I'm just going to use my this current Ubuntu system, and I'm just going to use an API based model because they highly recommend any thinking model like Claude, Gemini, or OpenAI's model. But I will just grab my free key from Google's AI Studio for Gemini 2.5 Pro, and then that is what I'm going to use in this video. So you don't really need a GPU. But if you're looking to rent a GPU or VM or CPU on very cheap prices, you can find the link to Massed Compute in video's description with a discount coupon code of 50% for range of GPUs. So please do check them out. And I also want to quickly introduce you to the sponsors of the video, who are iGent. iGent is the world's first multi-agent workforce desktop application, empowering you to build, manage, and deploy a custom AI workforce. Okay, so let's go back to see what is happening. Next up, let's git clone the repo, and I will drop the link to it in video's description. Okay, so it is saying that it couldn't find it, so it doesn't matter. I think I just mistyped it. Let me go into that directory. And now I have seeded into that directory here. And now you can install all the prerequisites, which are very minimal, like PocketFlow and some OpenAI, because it uses OpenAI compatible endpoint. And while it installs it, if you're looking to also grab your free API key from Google and their Gemini model, and it comes with a very liberal and generous free tier, just go to aistudio.google.com, and from the top right, grab your free API key after, of course, logging in with your free Google account. And meanwhile, everything is installed. Now let me show you this repo in the VS Code to show you where you can change the model if you like. And this is what the code looks like. Just go to utils directory within that repo, go to call_llm.py, scroll down, and you will see that either you can grab your API key from your environment, or you can even use Google Clouds project. But I'm just going to put my API key here at line number 59 within double quotes, and then I'll save and I'll go back to my terminal. And of course, this is the same file where you can put your Anthropic's API key or OpenAI's API key, and then simply just replace the model name. You can also test it out if your model is working or not. Just run this call_llm.py script, and this is making the call, and it will, if it gives you the response, it is working then. And there you go. So the test is passed. So LLM is now accessible. Now, in order to use this model, the framework, one way of doing is through a very quick test of analyzing your own either local Git repo or online. So for example, if you run this main.py from the root of the repo, you will provide it your any local Git repo and then ask it to analyze it. So let me run this, and then I will explain what is happening. So you see it has just fetched the whole content of my repo, and then it is also crawling that directory. So basically the agent behind the scene is crawling, and then it is also showing you the progress, identifying the abstraction using LLM. Let's wait. So let's wait for it to finish, and then we will check it out from the code too. So there you go. You see what this is doing. It is primarily creating a whole documentation from my repo with the help of agents. Now this is the code which it is using. If you go through this code, primarily what is happening is quite interesting. The PocketFlow is being used to organize the process of generating a tutorial from this local repo into a clean modular workflow. So instead of writing one long complex function, the logic has been split into smaller tasks like reading files, filtering them, analyzing code, and creating documentation, each handled by a separate node. And that is a core concept which you need to understand of nodes. And then these nodes are connected using a flow which manages how data moves between these steps. Now let me take you to its architecture, because this is where you would understand what exactly is happening here. Now if you look here, this diagrams provides you all the components which are the core in PocketFlow. So PocketFlow is built around nodes, which is a fundamental unit of logic. Each node represents a single task like summarizing an email or generating a reply, and then flows connect these nodes to define the execution path. Then there are some additional constructs like batch for repeating steps, parallel for concurrent execution, async for handling IO bound tasks. Then they also have something looping for long running or iterative processes, shared for internode communication, branch for conditional logic, and nesting for grouping reusable steps. These components allow developers to model complex workflows in a modular and intuitive way very easily. But now if you look at this specific diagram, here the node is performing a single task like summarizing email, while a batch repeats the task for multiple inputs. A parallel flow runs tasks concurrently, and a flow chains tasks sequentially, such as summarize email, then draft reply. Async is handling tasks that involve waiting, like checking an inbox before summarizing. Looping enables repeated interactions such as get questions, answer questions, and shared allows nodes to read and write shared data, which you can see that shown as a dashed box labeled email summary. Branching introduces decision making, where a task like need review leads to different paths based on conditions. Finally, nesting groups multiple related tasks into a reusable unit, such as coding tasks that include writing tests and verifying code. So this is a whole workflow. Seems a bit complex, but if you really think about it, it's not. And if you go through that code and the example which I showed you, that becomes quite easy, and the main advantage is its modularity. And meanwhile, our agentic framework has created the full tutorial on the basis of this git test, and it has placed it in this output directory. All of it is in markdown format. If you go to that local directory, this is the whole tutorial. So for example, if I open that index.markdown, yeah, there you go. So it has created the whole documentation around my repo in no time. And for instance, if I just go with this Gradio one, yeah, looks perfectly awesome. You see, it's quite detailed, and then it has even created a mermaid sequence diagram. How cool is that? So look, very impressive, not bad at all. Another agentic framework. The great thing is that it is open source, which always helps. License is quite liberal, MIT. What more could you ask? That's it. Please like the video and subscribe. And as I requested before, please consider becoming a member. That helps a lot. Thank you for all the support.